namaskrityam naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam mudiraye nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata-sevayā bhagavati uttama-shloke bhaktir bhavati nashtaki आराध्यो भगवान् व्रजेशतनयस् तद्धाम वृन्दावनम् रम्या काचिदुपासना व्रजवधूवर्गेण वा कल्पिता श्रीमद्भागवतं प्रमाणममलं प्रेमः पुमार्थो महान् श्रीचैतन्यमहाप्रभुर्मतमिदं तत्रादरानापरः नम ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna, thank you for joining on this special day of Moini Ekadashi. We are reading Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 47, entitled Brahmara Gita, the Song of the Bee. So, Uddhava has come from Mathura to Vrindavan, and he has come with the message of the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna to be given to Nanda, Nanda, Yashoda, and other gopis, etc. So he meets with Nanda and Yashoda the previous night, but now the day he's having a conversation with the gopis of Vraja. And a message was sent by Krishna to pacify. The Lord is thinking about his devotees. So we have read till the first 5 verses. We'll see what happens next. Anyeshvartha krita maitri yavadartha vidambanam pumbhi strishu krita yadvat suman hasva eva sat shatpadai. Translation and purport by the disciples of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The friendship is shown toward others, those who are not family members, is motivated by personal interest, and thus it is a pretense that lasts only until one's purpose is fulfilled. Such friendship is just like the interest men take in women or bees in flowers. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains that here that attractive women like flowers possess beauty, fragrance, tenderness, charm, and so on. And as bees drink only once of a flower's nectar and then leave it for another, fickle men abandon beautiful and devoted women to pursue other pleasures. This tendency is condemned here by the gopis, who gave their hearts completely to Sri Krishna. The gopis wanted only to exhibit their charms for Lord Krishna's pleasure, and in the pain of separation they questioned the motives of his friendship with them. These are the transcendental pastimes of the Lord. Both Lord Krishna and the gopis are completely liberated souls, engaged in the spiritual loving affairs. By contrast, our so-called loving affairs, being perverted reflections of the perfect loving relationships in the spiritual world, are polluted with lust, greed, pride, and so on. Like all the liberated souls, the gopis, and certainly Lord Sri Krishna himself, are eternally free of these lower qualities, and their intense loving affairs are motivated exclusively by unalloyed devotion. Hare Krishna. So, this is very esoteric song, and in a way, gopis are telling Krishna, you are like fickle-minded person who abandoned us. Mm. So, because now you have left us in this pain of separation. They question the motives. Mm. They question the motives of his friendship with them. So, in short, this is a great verse about friendship. We can learn from this verse. Mm. Friends jingle, friends mingle when pockets jingle. Very, very famous saying. When someone has something to offer, for example, someone is very wealthy, oh, people will come to them. When someone has a lot of influence, power, position, people may come to them. Oh, can you help me to, get placement here? Can you get this work done? Oh, your son has, this contact in this company, it's government-ish something. So power or influence or wealth or beauty but all these are very ephemeral. They are very temporary. Beauty, name, fame, wealth. And when the motive is done, the friendship is gone because it was not real friendship based on selflessness. It was based on a selfish agenda. When when the agenda is done, then use and throw. It happens all the time. Use and throw. That's what the gopis are saying. The bees take nectar from one flower, done. They don't go back to the other flower. Kaam ho gaya, done. Hmm. Of course, Vishwanath Thakur is explaining that Krishna, everything is transcendental, but here they are chastising and they have a different rasa. Hmm. That's why they are saying like this. But we can take lesson that at least we should be good friends. It should not be only based on motives. Adversity tests relationships, right? The test of any relationship, husband, wife, friendship, etc., is in the when times are not healthy. Because when you are growing up, in Hindi they say, उड़ते सूरज को सब सलाम करते हैं या चढ़ते सूरज को सब सलाम करते हैं. When the sun is rising, everyone is saluting. Hmm. So that means if someone is growing in their name, fame, wealth, they'll attract wealth. Also, they'll attract followership, they'll attract friendships. But who will be ready to stand by our side when we don't have that? I remember I was in a company, way back before I came to US. The general manager of that NTPC, big person, like the head of the plant. And the colony also, when he would go, the guards would be there walking along with him. Everyone will say, yes, Hari, oh, I mean, good morning, sir, good evening, sir, 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 sir. No. In India, it's not common. Like here, they may say good morning and all, like to the strangers. But India, so many people are there. Oh, good morning. No one has time. Keep moving. But the moment he retired, next day, no one, he was just walking like an ordinary person and buying vegetables like an ordinary person. No one, no sir, all sir gone because the position is gone. For some, it could be position, some it could be beauty, some it could be wealth. or some other contacts, but the moment it's gone, no one cares. And it shows the shallowness of relationship. But if the relationship is deep, it's not dependent on all these factors. Like a mother does not care what the child can do for him or her, sorry. The mother just knows to give her best to the child. Any other thoughts in this connection? And in spiritual context also, how we can learn this? We should be very careful and always remain grateful to our teachers. Gratitude and humility are very essential principles. I shared a short video also. It's not a detail, it's a principle. Sometimes it's observed that in the beginning, people are very, oh, Prabhuji, you shared this. Oh, we are so grateful. Oh, you are our Shiksha Guru. Oh, you are our this. Oh, without your life is waste. And then they may learn a few things. They may get initiated. And then, done. Kaam ho gaya. Recommendation letter, we got it. Now we're initiated. Now, forget about guidance and all. The conversation also is gone. Not one, I have at least 10 examples I know on top of my head. Experienced by others, experienced by my own self, and experienced by, I've heard from other people also. So this is not, that kind of friendship is not recommended here. Real friendship takes any good relationship does not build overnight. So good friends are hard, good relationships are hard. If you have those relationships, protect them, nurture them, nourish them. If there are misunderstandings, try to clarify. Try to have dialogue rather than complaining, criticizing. Try to talk and sort. No two people are perfect. No husband, wife are perfect. No friends are perfect. So it's okay if there is some disagreement, but learn to not be disrespectful even while you disagree. These are the things which are very important. And I was also hearing another class in this connection that generally it's the older we are, the harder it is to build new friendships or new relationships. Do you agree with that? How many of you agree? In old age, it's hard to build new relationships, new good relationships. So-called friends, hello, Haribol, you may find new people, but that surface you may get. I'm not saying it's impossible, but generally it's hard. Because as someone was talking in the class yesterday, that trust is something you cannot do to everyone. Because if you do, you may get cheated and then you'll feel bad. So to trust someone, especially for deeper things, not just to buy grocery for you from Costco, that's a small thing. Oh, they may forgot. Sorry. But for much deeper values, it takes years. So we must nurture, protect, and be on guard so that we don't have over familiarity, which leads to contempt. So this is a nice verse about friendship here. Next verse, anyone? Yes, Radha Mataji, you want to read? Anyone wants to read? Please unmute. Can you hear me?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. Yeah, please read, Mataji.
Yeah, I can read, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna devotees. Nisvam tyajanti ghanika akalpam nrupatim prajaha adhita vidya acharyam ritvijo dhatta dakshinam. Translation purport by Śrīla Prabhupada is Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai. Prostitutes abandon a penniless man, subjects an incompetent king, subjects their teachers once they have finished their education, and priest a man who has remunerated them for a sacrifice. Thank you, Prabhu. You can explain more.
Hare Krishna. Basically, some examples are shared here for shallow relationships. Then when the work is done, they don't remember the person who offered them something, right? So one should not be like that, in short. That's the idea. One should be grateful to one's teachers. One should be grateful to anyone who has done something positive to help. I remember His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj was saying one time, Prabhupada was in US, and he had a rough time in the beginning, 60 years back. And I'm forgetting the finer details of this episode, but the essence is the main thing. So Prabhupada reached out to many people and delegates in India to please help. I have procured, or I have actually seen a nice property in New York. At that time, it was not very expensive. I mean, in that currency and that phase. And Prabhupada really wanted to buy that. And he reached out to many people, many big shots, businessmen, etc. And most of them said, come on, you know. So you could hardly get any even positive ray of hope. But this one person said to Prabhupada, yes, Prabhupada, I'm happy to support you. And I will do something to support you. But at that time, there was some international politics and this Indira Gandhi and rules and all there was some rough, geopolitical situations. And the system and technology was not like what we have today. So it was not easy to transfer money from India to US especially. So this person did not end up sending any monetary support. And then his child met Radhanath Swami Maharaj, and then somehow they connected the dots. I think some Singhani or something, and Maharaj was so grateful to him that your father at that time, served by his heart, and it gave hope to Prabhupada that someone is there to support me. Like, that's a level of gratitude, great souls have. He did not give a penny. Like, he wanted to give a lot, significant amount, but he could not give due to some geopolitical situations. Maharaj was still offering him deep gratitude. So we should always remember what good others have done to us. And if someone does bad, we should try to forget. It's not that easy, but all good things are not easy. Most good things are not easy. And the pain of discipline. Shreyas is hard in the beginning, but good long term. We're talking about Shreyas and Preyas in the kids' class. Any other thoughts in this connection about friendship, relationships, gratitude? Abandoning when the work is done. So how can we take it practically also? Think about this. How many people you reach out to only when you have some work. And how many people you reach out to just to genuinely ask about them? That I call you just to check on how you are doing, how's your family? Something very practical, right? You can introspect, and if the number is, if you feel the numbers are not making, if the numbers are not great, then at least try one step. I'm not saying to, like, sometimes it's okay, like if you need some help, or even if you need some help, even if we see that Gajendra, he needed some help. Really needed help. But when he called Krishna, he offered prayers. He did not start with, "Hey, Krishna, protect me, I'm stuck with this crocodile." He offered wonderful prayers first to glorify. So even if we have to, we should genuinely first ask about their well-being, first intentionally and genuinely. And even if you need help, that, okay, can you bring this for potluck prasadam? Can you help with garland? Can you help with decoration? And that too also is nice service. You're helping them to engage in Krishna's service. But also we should try to nurture some relationships, friendships, and try to reach out when you just. How many of you feel happy when someone reaches out to you just to check on you? Anyone wants to share? Just to check how your kids, your family is doing. How is your bhakti? You feel happy? We all feel happy that this person is reaching out in this world where everyone is so busy in their own world and no one has time for each other. So if we feel happy, treat others the way we want like to be treated, so others would also feel happy. And that would help them also to be a better devotee. You can win hearts of people this way, and then they'll take to Krishna consciousness. People join people, people leave people. If people trust that this person is my genuine well-wisher, they'll do anything for you. And how do we tell them that? Not by big words, but by example. My mentor in my early college days, when I was in first year, I had nothing to give him. I was a student. I had hardly any money. He would come almost every other day, literally, like daily, or sometimes every other day, alternate day. Sometimes he'd bring prasadam, sometimes bring, and just to talk, how you're doing. And sometimes he would take me to his home, feed me nicely. Sometimes he would give me a ride. Hey, do you have any work outside? Like, because we didn't have any bike or any car or anything to travel. Sometimes he would take me to other devotees' home, or it's, Ganesh Puja. We'll do kirtan in different devotees' home and have nice prasad. He would give me encouragement. He would give me opportunities to serve. I was a new first year graduate, or first year, and he said, "Oh, you helped me with Abhishek." I I had never worn a chadar, like, Abhishek, you have to wear chadar. So the first time he taught me how to wear dhoti, he taught me how to wear chadar. So causeless mercy, and I can never repay that debt or that gratitude. We should. How can we ever repay? But those selfless acts. What did he want? What did he ask me to do? What did he expect me to do? Nothing. Just chant Hare Krishna, be a good student, get good grades, be a good example. For whom? For him? No, for my own self. That's the expectation of a sadhu, to help others to become the best version of themselves. I don't need money from you. I don't need good words from you. I don't need any prasadam or anything for you. Imagine someone gives you good prasadam, good, dandavat, all that. Good, even donation money. What else? Or even some other gifts. but they don't care about what you say. No. Will you like it? They don't. Real sadhu wants to give his message. And the real sadhu, the service to a sadhu is to, if we genuinely follow their words, that's the biggest joy to them. How can we please Prabhupada the most? By following his instructions. How can we please our Guru the most? Period. By following his instructions. There's no other way. He won't be happy if we give $100,000, but we don't treat others kindly. We don't practice bhakti. We are causing havoc. We are doing a lot of wrong things. But I gave $100,000. Sorry, doesn't count. Following the instructions counts. That's going to please him the most. Any thoughts, questions, corrections? Next verse. Saranya Guru.
Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Matas.
Khagavita phalam vriksham bhuktva chaiti tayograham dhagham mragastataranyam jara bhuktva ratam striyam. Translation by the disciples of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Birds abandon a tree when its fruits are gone. Guests a house after they have eaten. Animals a forest that has burned down. And a lover that woman he has enjoyed even though she remains attached to him. Thank you, Prabhuji. Back to you.
Any comments, Mata?
No, Prabhuji. I'll hear from you. Thank you.
This is in continuation with the similar, theme. So some examples were shared in the previous verse, like how students abandon their teacher once education is complete. How many of us know all the names of the teachers we studied in school, college? Do we know all the names? Remembering names is hard. What to speak of offering gratitude? So many subjects, so many semesters, so many years. Maybe you know one or two names, 4 or 5 names. So here birds, the fruits are gone, birds are gone. Friends mingle, and pockets jingle. So Krishna's motives are fulfilled. Now he's gone to the women of Mathura. Why will he remember us? That's what the gopis are saying. So they are feeling a lot of separation, in short. Krishna is cruel, we are saying. He is abandoning us. But we know the internal reasons that it's only intensifying their love. Next verse. Anyone would like to read?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, I can read.
Yes, ma'am.
Iti gopya hi govinde gatavakaya manasaha Krishna dute samayate uddhave tyaktva laukika gayantya priya karmani rudantyascha gata hriyah tasya samsmritya Yani kaishora balyayoh. Translation and purport by the disciples of Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thus speaking, the gopis, whose words, bodies and minds were fully dedicated to Lord Govinda, put aside all their regular work now that Krishna's messenger, Sri Uddhava, had arrived among them. Constantly remembering the activities their beloved Krishna had performed in his childhood and youth, they sang about them and cried without shame. Purport: the word Balya Yoha here indicates that ever since their childhood, the gopis had been completely in love with Krishna. Thus, even though social custom dictated that they not reveal their love to others, they forgot all external considerations and openly wept before Krishna's messenger Uddhava. Hare Krishna. So the gopis are remembering all the childhood pastimes as indicated in the purport of Krishna, and that even they do not have this inhibition about any social customs, that one would be careful and maybe not reveal their like love affairs just based on like external considerations, but they are openly crying and weeping before Uddhava. Please add or correct, Prabhuji. Thank you. Hari Bol.
Very cool. We have seen this kind of mood of the gopis in the past, also in many chapters. They did not care for public opinion. We have a very strong fear of public opinion. Tyaktva laukika. Putting aside tyaktva. Tyakta laukika. Laukika means log kya kahenge. सबसे बड़ा रोग क्या कहेंगे लोग? Oh, what if I chant and dance on the street? What will people say? In the initial years, I also used to say, okay, mandir mein still okay. Bahar, on the street, the Rath Yatra, and that too in the same city where I have my, so-called friends and other people who know me. What if they see me? No one really, no one really cares what. We think that we are the center of the universe, but we realize that no one is. No matter what you do, people will say something about you. No matter how good you may be, some people will complain about you. And no matter how bad you are, some people will appreciate you. That's the nature of this world. But we have to see, do we care about Lokik, Man Samman, or do we want to be good in the eyes of Guru and Krishna? Do I want to measure the parameter of right and wrong from the lens and perception of the society? Or do I want to measure the right and wrong from the lens of Shastra? Period. Because what the Shastras say is day and night difference from what the lok or common people say. Ya nisha sarva bhutanam tasyam jagrati sanyami. What is night for self-realized is day for materialist. And what is day for a materialist? What is day for a self-realized is night for a materialist. So there is day and night difference between public opinion and Krishna opinion or Guru opinion. Is it not? The public will say, oh, why you need to practice bhakti now? Live life king size. Khao piyo moj karo. Why? But Guru will say life is meant for austerity. Tapo divyena kayena sattvam. Like Radha Bihari Mataji and Subal Prabhu, they distributed, like the whole weekend, so many programs, so many things they had, and they were so joyful, serving. And in the heat of the summer, it was not super hot, but still, it was hot. at 85, 87 degrees. But meeting so many amazing people, so many like going to book distribution is like experiencing Kṛṣṇa live. A drunkard came and he's and it was such an amazing experience. A drunkard came to the bookstall and says, "Oh, I have this Kantimala. I am also devotee." I said, "Okay, then take Gita." They said, "No, no, no, no." I said, "Okay, take Prasad." Okay, Prasad. Little bit he took. I said, "Okay, give some donation." I said, "Donation? Okay. What do you want?" I said, "Whatever from the heart." He said, "Okay, take my purse." He gave his wallet. "Okay, take this wallet." And I said, "No, no, no, we don't take wallets. You take, give whatever you want from your heart, your, satisfaction. 10, 20, 50, whatever you want." He said, "No, you tell me whatever you want." I said, "Okay, give $100. He said, 100? You need to give me 100. He was like drunk. He was not sure what he was speaking, completely drunk. And he said that himself. I didn't make a judgment. I just made an observation. And of course, when you're like, 1 feet away, you can also perceive it. And then he gave $10 finally. But then he was about to go, forgot. Then he met Subal Prabhu and I said, "Okay, so Subal Prabhu didn't know that I was already talking to him. So he tried to give him a book. And then he started conversing again. I said, "Okay, give him, I should give him donation." He said, "Okay, I gave to you." I said, "Okay, give him also." So they said, "Okay," he gave him the purse again. "No, you give from your heart." I said, "How much?" I said, he then took a $50 note and gave 50. So, and then, left. So he was our biggest donor from yesterday, from the book. This $60 he gave and took a Gita also, and took Prasad also. And he was totally drunk. Indian person, Gujarati, some. So that's how Krishna arranges. And of course, we met many, many other souls also who were so happy to receive Prasad, to receive my holy name, to receive books. Now, for ordinary people, this is nonsense. Why do you go out in the street? Just relax at home. You know, why to take so much trouble? But actually, it's not trouble, it's the highest joy. Tapyantet lokatapena sadhava prayashojana param aradhana tadhi purushasya khilatmanam. Those who take pain to give happiness to others, that's the topmost sadhana in the eyes of Krishna. And of course, Krishna says in the Gita, those who share this message with others are most dear. But the world will say it's nonsense. Yes, according to them, it may be. According to them, going to a bar, going to a club, going to a casino, hanging out with opposite gender, gambling, meat eating, those are very nice activities, according to them. So we have to see, whom do we want to please? Krishna or Loka? Those who want to please Krishna may have to often give up what the so-called people will say. Often, not always, especially depends on your association. Like one of my friends, they say, "Oh, the parents want them to wear very modern clothes, which are exposing the body which God has given, and people with lusty eyes are going to look." Now the parents are saying, "No, no, you wear these kind of clothes." But do Guru and Sadhu be happy about it? Certainly not. That's not what our Shastras recommend. So we have to see, do we want to please parents in that situation who don't know Dharma, who don't know the right principles, or we have to give up that opinion? So we may have to give up public opinion many, many times, especially when it's not aligned. Like Vibhishana gave up, Ravana's opinion. But if the friends, family are supportive, they're aligned by Dharma, by all means we should hear. Any other thoughts, comments? Okay, next verse. Anyone wants to read? Text 11. Anyone who's not read, please mute.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandat Pranam, Hare Krishna devotees. Yes, Prabhuji. Text 11. Tachin madhukaram društva dhayanti Krishna sangamam priya prashtapitam dutam kalpayutedam abravit. Translation and purport by the disciple of His Divine Grace, Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. One of the gopis, while meditating on her previous association with Krishna, saw a honeybee before her and imagined it to be a messenger sent by her beloved. Thus she spoke as follows. Purport. Srimati Radharani is referred to in this verse as Kachit, a certain gopi. To establish that this particular gopi is in fact Srimati Radharani, Srila Jiva Goswami quotes the following verses from the Agni Puran. Gopyaha prapachura usasi Krishnanucharam uddhavam Hari lila viharamsa cha tatrekam radhikam vina Radha tadbhava samlina vasanaya viramita Sakhibihi sabhi advekchuda vikyana guna grimbitam jiyante vasinam veda charam sabibhavanyahe. At dawn, the gopis inquired from Krishna's servant Uddhava about the Lord's pastimes and recreation. Only Srimati Radharani, immersed in thought of Krishna, withdrew her interest in the talks. Then Radha, who is worshipped by the residents of her Vrindavana village, spoke of in the midst of her girlfriends. Her words were full of pure transcendental knowledge and expressed the ultimate portion of the Vedas. In the Bhagavad Gita 15.15, Lord Krishna states, Vedescha sarver aham eva vedya. By all the Vedas, I am to be known. To know Krishna is to love Krishna. And thus Radharani, by her own example and words, revealed her supreme love for the Lord. Having quoted the above verses from the Agni Purana, Srila Jiva Goswami also quotes the following from the Narasimha Tapani Upanishad, Purva Kanda 2.4. Yam sarve deva namanti mukhuso brahma vadinascha. All the demigods and all the transcendental philosophers who desire liberation bow down to the Supreme Lord. We should follow suit. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Very good. Thank you, Mataji, for reading this beautiful verse. Want to share any thoughts?
Prabhuji, I have heard there is one place where Vyasadeva mentioned, mentioned Srimati Radharani's name, but indirectly. I think this verse is, this one is that verse, Prabhuji.
This verse, I think that one is in the other Gopi Gita, that Krishna, that one special Anya Radhita Nunam. That verse is Vyasdev and Shukdev Goswami. You
Yeah,
meant?
Sukdev Goswami. Yes, Prabhu. Sukdev Goswami. So
Okay.
here, Kachin Kachin means Srimati. Here it is mentioned like Kachit. That means one of the gopis. So it is referring to Srimati Radharani.
Yes. Yes. As mentioned in the purport, yes.
Yeah, yes.
But so you're right that this verse is also referring, but that verse which is often quoted or more often quoted, let's put it this way, is this one, 10:30:28. Anyaradito nunam bhagavan rishvarha yanno vihaya govindo prito yam anyad raha. Certainly this particular gopi has perfectly worshipped the all-powerful personality of Godhead Govinda, since he was so pleased with her that he abandoned the rest of us and brought her to a secluded place. So here, that word Anya Aradita is Srimati Radharani. This verse is more often quoted, and then there's more detailed reason why he is keeping this in a hidden way. Why? Because in a hidden way, that he has spoken her name indeed her mercy, and thus the word Aradhita is like rumbling of a kettle drum sounded to announce her great fortune.
Yes.
But this also, Srimati Radharani is speaking.
Yes.
So meditating upon their previous association with Krishna. So they saw a Brahmara, a honeybee. And then they got into this divine emotional ecstasy. And imagine this is a messenger which has been sent by Krishna. They started to speak. Gopya Uvacha. Gopi Uvacha. So who is singing this song?
Gopis.
Singular or plural?
Plural.
Uvach is singular. Like
Singular, yeah.
Uchu is plural, like
Oh,
Rishya
yeah.
Uchu.
Yes.
Uvach is like Krishna, Sri Bhagavan Uvacha, Dhritarashtra Uvacha. So which we will study maybe tomorrow. And this particular gopi, that Kachit, the Srimati Radharani is basically that gopi who is singing that Brahmara Gita and talking about the different qualities and the love of Krishna. In one way, chastising and having different emotions. So any other thoughts here?
There is one line, Prabhuji, to know Krishna is to love Krishna. It's very important.
Where is that?
Prabhuji, in the Bhagavad Gita 15.15, in this paragraph, to know Krishna is to love Krishna.
Very nice. Which verse in Gita can substantiate this line? Know Krishna is to love Krishna. Which verse in Gita is close to this? Hint, Chatushloki? Anything in Chatushloki you think fits here? Aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartate. Iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvita. Iti matva. When they understand, when they know, iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvita. They gave up themselves and they enter into my worship, loving devotional service. You see the connection? Do you think it fits? Any other verse you think fits?
Yes, Prabhuji, it fits perfectly.
I was hearing a Prabhupada class Prabhupada met a person. Prabhupada, what do you think about Buddha? Buddha's philosophy says this, ahimsa. What do you think about Christianity? They say about the 10 Commandments. Thou shalt not kill. What do you think about this? What do you think about? Prabhupada said, what are you doing? How much are you following anything? The same with Gita also. Gita says that. But to know Krishna means to love Krishna.
Prabhuji bhaktya mam abhijananti.
Bhaktya mam vijanati. You can know Krishna through service, through bhakti. Very nice.
It's
Yes.
loving relationship and service.
Yes. And when we know Krishna, when we know Krishna, we'll do render service. And when we render service, it's like a circular thing. So you complete the other half. When we know Krishna, so little knowledge, start doing service, enhances more knowledge about Krishna. More knowledge about Krishna, more bhakti. More bhakti, more knowledge, more clarity. Then sadhana, sadachar, swadhyaya, seva, sangha. They are in circular, as we learned the other day also. We cannot just take one limb out and say, okay, I'll just do sadhana, forget about everything else. Forget about seva, forget about sangha, forget about sadachar. Problem. Okay, someone said, oh, seva is everything. Forget about everything else. Problem. So this is the circular thing. More knowledge, more quality, if done in the right way. More devotional qualities, more bhakti, more surrender, more sadhana. So it's in circular. It enhances. Any last comments or thoughts, questions? So we'll start with the the song of the Gopi, the special Gopi, which is actually Brahma Gita. Tomorrow. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Purana ki jai, Śrīmad Kṛṣṇa Prabhupada ki jai, Samved Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai, Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripasindhubhya Evacha, Patitanam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namo. Thank you, Hari Bol.
Thank you.